Deep within Sunny Meadow lived a happy rabbit named Hops. Hops was a cheerful and energetic bunny who loved to explore every nook and cranny of the meadow. He had a knack for finding the best spots to nibble on fresh greens and always knew where to find the juiciest dandelions. Hops wasn't just any rabbit. He had a special talent that set him apart from the other bunnies in the meadow. He was known throughout the meadow for his clever thinking. Whenever there was a problem, the other animals would come to Hops for advice. He had a way of looking at things from a different perspective, which often led to creative solutions. He lived in a cozy burrow under a willow tree. The burrow was warm and inviting, with soft moss lining the walls and a bed of fresh hay. It was the perfect place for Hops to rest after a day of adventures.
One sunny morning, I was nibbling on a juicy dandelion when suddenly my ears perked up. I heard a faint sound that made me stop chewing and listen carefully. I heard my friend Lily crying. Her soft sobs were coming from the direction of her garden, and I knew something must be terribly wrong.
Lily was a sweet bunny with very soft fur. She was kind-hearted and always willing to help others. Her garden was her pride and joy, filled with the most vibrant and delicious carrots in the meadow. Hops hopped over to Lily. He could see the distress on her face and knew he had to find out what was wrong.
"Why the tears, Lily?" I asked gently, hoping to comfort her.
He asked kindly. Hops had a way of making others feel at ease, even in the most troubling times. Lily sniffled. She took a deep breath and tried to compose herself before speaking.
"Someone stole all the carrots from my garden!" she exclaimed, her voice trembling with emotion. "I couldn't believe it! My beautiful carrots gone!"
She cried. Hops furrowed his brow. He knew how much those carrots meant to Lily, and he couldn't stand to see her so upset. Stealing was wrong. It was against the meadow's code of conduct, and Hops was determined to find the culprit.
"Don't worry, Lily," I said with determination. "I'll find your carrots. I promise you, we'll get to the bottom of this mystery." With that, Hops set off on his quest to find the missing carrots, determined to bring justice to Carrot Creek.
Hops was famous for his cleverness. He was known far and wide, not just in Sunny Meadow, but even in the neighboring fields and forests. His reputation for solving problems and helping others had spread like wildfire. Animals from all over would come to seek his advice and assistance. Everyone in Sunny Meadow called him the wise rabbit of Willow Tree. This was because he lived under the grand old willow tree that stood tall and proud in the middle of the meadow. The tree was ancient, with branches that swayed gently in the breeze, providing shade and comfort to all who sought it. Whenever there was a problem, Hops would solve it. Whether it was finding lost items, resolving disputes, or coming up with clever solutions to tricky situations, Hops was the go-to rabbit. His mind was always working, always thinking, always coming up with new ideas and strategies. He sniffed the ground near Lily's garden and noticed tiny footprints. They weren't rabbit footprints. These were too small. Hops followed the footprints. He was determined to find out who or what had been in Lily's garden. The footprints led him on a winding path through the meadow, past the tall grasses and colourful flowers. They led him deeper into Sunny Meadow, towards Whispering Woods. The woods were a place of mystery and wonder, filled with tall trees and hidden secrets. Hops had been there before, but this time felt different. There was an air of anticipation, as if something important was about to happen. The woods were dark and mysterious. The sunlight filtered through the leaves, casting eerie shadows on the ground. Hops moved cautiously, his ears twitching at every sound. He knew he had to be careful, but he also knew he couldn't turn back now. Hops felt a little scared, but he remembered his promise to Lily. She had asked for his help, and he had given his word. He couldn't let her down. He took a deep breath and steeled himself for whatever lay ahead. He had to be brave. With each step, he felt his confidence growing. He knew that no matter what he faced, he had the skills and the determination to overcome it. Hops was ready for the challenge, and he was determined to solve the mystery of the tiny footprints. Hops hopped cautiously into Whispering Woods. The trees were tall and thick. Sunbeams peeked through the leaves. He kept following the tiny footprints. Where could they be leading him? Hops was determined to solve the mystery of the missing carrots. As he went deeper, Hops heard a strange sound.
Chitter, chatter, chitter.
It was coming from behind a big oak tree. Hops took a deep breath and peeked around the tree. He couldn't believe his eyes. Sitting in a circle were 6 squirrels. They were having a feast. And what were they eating? Carrots, Lily's carrots. Hops hopped out from behind the tree.
Excuse me.
He called out. The squirrels stopped eating and stared at him.
Those carrots belong to my friend Lily. You must return them at once.
The squirrels began to chatter nervously amongst themselves. One squirrel, larger than the others, stepped forward. He had a mischievous glint in his eye.
Well, what do we have here?
Chuckled a smooth voice. A sleek fox emerged from behind the oak tree. The squirrels trembled at the sight of him. The fox was known as a sly trickster.
These carrots belong to me. If this clever rabbit wants them back, he must solve my riddle.
Hops felt a knot of worry in his stomach, but he had to be brave for Lily.
Listen closely. I'm always coming but never arrive. I'm always near but never here. What am I?
Hops thought long and hard. The fox's riddle was tricky. He scratched his head with his paw. The squirrels watched nervously. The sun began to set, casting long shadows across the woods.
Time's up,
the fox declared, snapping his jaws shut. The fox lunged at Hops. Hops jumped out of the way just in time. He had to think fast. He couldn't let the fox take him away. He looked around frantically. Then he noticed the squirrels were huddled together in fear. An idea popped into his clever mind.
Wait, I know the answer to your riddle. It's tomorrow.
The fox paused, confused. He hadn't expected Hops to solve the riddle. While the fox was distracted, Hops winked at the squirrels. They understood. All at once, the squirrels began to chatter loudly and throw nuts at the fox. The fox, caught off guard, was pelted with a shower of acorns.
Ouch! Hey!
The fox cried out in surprise. He turned and ran away as fast as he could. Hops and the squirrels laughed. The fox was so startled he left the carrots behind. Hops and the squirrels gathered up the carrots. They worked together, their little paws moving swiftly as they collected every last carrot that had been scattered around. The animals of Carrot Creek had never seen such teamwork before. It was a sight to behold, with rabbits and squirrels moving in perfect harmony, their eyes gleaming with determination and joy. The air was filled with the sound of rustling leaves and the soft thuds of carrots being placed into baskets. It was a true celebration of unity and cooperation. They returned them to Lily's garden just as the moon was rising. The garden looked magical under the moonlight, with the silver rays casting a gentle glow on the freshly returned carrots. Hops and his friends felt a sense of accomplishment as they placed the last carrot back in its rightful place. The garden, once empty and forlorn, now looked vibrant and full of life again. The moonlight seemed to dance on the leaves, creating a serene and peaceful atmosphere. Lily was overjoyed to have her carrots back. She hugged Hops tightly, her eyes brimming with tears of gratitude. "Thank you, Hops," she whispered, her voice choked with emotion. "You have no idea how much this means to me." Hops felt a warm glow in his heart, knowing that he had made a difference. The other animals watched with smiles on their faces, happy to see Lily so joyful. It was a moment of pure happiness and contentment. And
"You solved the mystery, Hops! You're the cleverest rabbit ever!" The children gathered around Hops, their faces alight with admiration and excitement. They patted him on the back and showered him with praises. "You're our hero, Hops!" one of them exclaimed. Hops blushed under the attention, but he couldn't help but feel proud. He had always wanted to be helpful, and now he had proven himself to be a true friend and protector of the garden.
news of Hops's cleverness spread throughout Sunny Meadow. Animals from all corners of the meadow came to hear the tale of how Hops had solved the mystery of the missing carrots. They marveled at his intelligence and bravery, and Hops became a beloved figure in the community. The meadow buzzed with excitement as animals shared the story with their friends and family. Hop's name became synonymous with wisdom and courage, and he was looked up to by all. From that day forward, no one ever dared to steal carrots again. The animals of Carrot Creek had learned a valuable lesson about respect and cooperation. The garden remained untouched, and the carrots grew bigger and sweeter than ever before. Lily's garden became a symbol of harmony and trust, and the animals worked together to keep it safe and flourishing. It was a testament to the power of unity and the importance of looking out for one another. And Hops continued to be known as the wise rabbit of Willow Tree, always ready to solve a problem with his quick wit and kind heart. He became a mentor to the younger animals, teaching them the values of kindness, intelligence, and teamwork. Whenever a problem arose, the animals knew they could count on Hops to find a solution. His legacy lived on, and he remained a cherished and respected figure in Carrot Creek, always ready to lend a helping paw